Thank you for safeguarding it.
Chair now recognizes Representative Olszewski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to Ranking Member Meeks for convening this hearing. Thank you, Ms. Lake, for joining us today. I am a new member on this committee, but in just the past few months, I've seen how important in person the Voice of America, Radio Free Europe, and other USAGM outlets are to Americans and to our allies. It's vital to diplomacy. It connects and informs people as we seek to promote our democracy and our freedom around the world. Indeed, VOA and USAGM outlets are American soft power weapons. And central to the mission of an international broadcasting agency is truth and is balance. What we share with the world should be rooted in fact so that America maintains its credibility on the world stage. I'm sharing these concerns because I recently know through my travel and in some countries that USAGM is the sole source of credible information. I was just in Taiwan where government officials and NGOs made it clear Radio Free Asia is an indispensable tool against PRC misinformation and aggression. And to that end, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter 2 articles into the record, one from Politico, Moscow and Beijing rejoicing at looming death of Radio Free Europe, VOA, and another one from the Washington Post, Chinese propaganda surges as the U.S. defunds Radio Free Asia.
Without objection.
Thank you. Ms. Lake, I have just a few questions today. I hope the first one is pretty simple. Yes or no, do you believe in the mission of USAGM and its grantees are important?
It's really like the yes or no answers,
I think that's a pretty easy one, but.
I believe in the mission. I wish that it were followed.
Okay, and I appreciate that, but worry that, as my colleagues have shared, executing on that mission is very difficult with an administration that is gutting our only way in some parts of the world of sharing the most, in the most oppressive of media markets, information that needs to be shared. Media reports, for example, indicated that VOA broadcast just 75 minutes of content to its audience in Iran over the past few days, knowing that we used to broadcast 24/7. And I know that you mentioned that there's not a huge audience, but it's come to my attention that VOA's Persian audience has actually doubled in the past 4 years. As of June 2023, in the middle of that growth, it was measured that the outlet was covering almost 16% of all adult Iranians. So I just would say, as we're facing a very unsettled world, I think having information is really important. And so I think that is perhaps why we're seeing, as in the articles I shared, that our adversaries are in fact celebrating this retrenchment from our involvement. I'd like to read an article.
Can I say something about that? I think
I'll give you an opportunity,
CCP might be
I'm happy to give you an opportunity. Quote, the so-called beacon of freedom, VOA, has now been discarded by its own government like a dirty rag. This is from the Chinese Communist Party's owned Global Times paper. Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman Mao Ning seems to agree with your characterization of VOA as, quote, a lie factory that stirs up conflict, with a notorious track record in their China coverage. I guess my question to you, is it concerning, or should it be concerning to us as members of this committee, that you share the same opinion as a Chinese Communist government spokesperson?
The Chinese government, if they are upset about having less coverage, it's because they were in control of a lot of our coverage. The CCP, and I think you came in late, actually
No, ma'am, I've been here the entire time.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice. The CCP has more control over what we put out editorially than people who are management at the agency. Do you think that's okay?
No, I think we should be putting out truthful information, and sometimes,
and as you see here, the former leader,
and we should go after that. And sometimes, but what I do, what is concerning to me,
failing to
is
stop Chinese propaganda.
And you've already said that your goal ultimately is to move this agency and its independence, which is truly a core pillar of journalism. As someone who is in journalism, having that independence is absolutely important. There's no other way that we're going to be a credible source to the world if other governments and other members of countries see what we're doing. I mean, first of all, we're not communicating, but when we do, they have to know that the information is real, it's authentic, and it's actually advancing American interests. I very much look forward to working with my colleagues on the committee here so that we can make sure the information is truthful, it is factual, and that it advances American interests. You have my commitment to work with you on that.
Great.
But we have to make sure that we're actually promoting those interests through supporting this
Hopefully
work.
we can root out the Russian, Chinese, Iranian propaganda that has been prevalent on our airwaves at VOA, and we're going to work to do that.
Chair now recognizes